This video is a Q&A type video where I'll sit down with my son, Lili, who has trisomy 13, and I'll go through a bunch of negative comments as well as just general questions about the condition and about my son. All right, let me go get chummy and we'll sit down, have a cuddle, and answer some questions.
Do you understand? We're going to make a video for people so they can look at you while Daddy answers questions. Yeah? You're going to be loud with your... You're going to be very loud, aren't you? I'm sure. Let's have a look anyway. So... Alright, so I'm making this video because I just thought it'd be a new, interesting style of video to try with me hanging out with Chummy and answering some questions, as well as I've got some notes here. Basically, I've got a lot of like negative comments. So lots of people who, just I mean, they don't understand the condition, obviously, and yeah, I already did a video where I responded to some negative comments, and I just thought I'd do an episode 2, but instead of just showing images and videos of Chummy, I thought I would actually sit with him and talk to the camera, which I've never done before, really, so it's a bit weird for me. Okay, so we haven't cuddled today, have we? This is our first... Well, I had a little cuddle earlier in your cot, but this is the first time I've cuddled him like this today. Okay. You happy? You got some toys? We got some of his favorite toys here. We got this one. Do you like it? No, you don't really like that one. This one's one of his favorites, but that's a bit loud. This one's kind of loud. So let's try this one. This is a quiet one. This is the one we use when he wants to be quiet, when we want him to be quiet. Okay, so you play with that. Okay, so the first one, this is one I replied to the other day. It's just odd. So this guy goes, the comments here are just weird and remind me of what you might hear as propaganda in some alternate world. Quote unquote, these are beautiful, etc. A lot seem to be posted by females who seem to be compelled to say such socially correct but silly things. So this guy seems to be under the impression that people on YouTube comments are compelled in some way to say certain things to be polite or to be socially acceptable, or so basically he's saying like anyone who thinks that Lili is beautiful or cute or whatever is being disingenuous, is being fake, which I don't understand at all. Like, so he went on to say you just think he's beautiful because he's your kid, and blah blah blah. But I mean, I know other trisomy kids who I think are legitimately beautiful. Like, they're just the cutest little cuties, and their smiles just absolutely light up your world. Like, they're not objectively ugly, or they're not like horrifying to look at or anything. I've seen some that are like that have really bad deformities, and I honestly feel like quite blessed to have Lili looking as good as he does. Like, he's a good looking little boy. And so anyway, I just thought it was insane how this guy thought he understood the motivations and the biases and things of people online that he had never met and he was never going to meet, and then he understood how I would perceive those comments, and that I just wanted them to praise my kid, and that I just thought he was beautiful because he was my kid. And I was just like, how do you know? You don't know any of these people. Like, it's so presumptuous and so just arrogant, and I don't know. I don't understand that way of thinking. Everyone's different. Everyone has a different perspective from you, and like, beauty by definition is in the eye of the beholder. Like, it is, there are some objective parts to it, but most of it is subjective. So saying like, I know what's beautiful and you don't, and if you think something else is beautiful that I don't think is beautiful, you're somehow like clearly lying, or just being polite or something, is just what, I don't know what world that guy's living in. Hey cutie, you having a good time? You're getting daddy cuddles, aren't you? Wow, you're so lucky. Daddy's lucky too, he gets cuddles with you. Okay, next one. Hopefully it's not like bumping the microphone and stuff. Anyway, as I said, this is the first time I've done this. I've got the fan on me here too because it's bloody boiling. All right, next one. What a selfish human being. So they're calling me selfish. How do you know if he's happy? What if he does know that his life is different? What is the payoff for you? Because there has to be one. I will say to you, there are some things worse than death. I agree, there are some things worse than death. And if I ever thought that my son was living a life that was worse than death, firstly, I wouldn't have known that was going to be the case if it did end up being the case. So when we made decisions for like giving him surgery and giving him a track and giving him a peg and, you know, all the other things that we've done to like extend his life, we were just doing the best with what we could, with the information we had at the time. And the information we had at the time was that these things would improve the quality of his life. That's it. So if that turned out differently, and if his life now actually was not worth living and, you know, whatever, that wouldn't have been an intentional decision that we made with the knowledge that it would turn out that way. We wouldn't have known. We didn't. You know. But that's not the case. I mean, he's a happy little cutie, and he clearly has no idea what he's missing out on. Like, I mean, you have to think of like the depth of the amount of intelligence that you would need, the awareness of other people, the awareness of other people's lives. He doesn't have access to any of that. Do you, my love? You know, he's just concerned with what is in this bubble around him here. You know, literally, like he's concerned with what's here. You know, what's here is his favorite toy. You know, and what's here is his daddy. That's what he's concerned with. He's not concerned with what kind of life do I have. Do I have a life that is like worth living? No, I don't. And now I'm depressed. Like, that's not, you know, it's just I guess you have to meet him maybe, or you have to know someone with profound intellectual intelligence to kind of get a sense of what their world entails and how far out the kind of bubble extends. That's the way I think about it. I've always kind of thought of him as living in a bubble. And it's always been like a beautiful little cute bubble. Like, it's always been a bubble of innocence. I think I put it in one of my videos. Yeah. Is he innocent? Are you innocent? So I'm holding his hands just so he doesn't bump the microphone. You want to play with Bingo? This is his sister's toy. He doesn't really like stuffed animals though. Do you like stuffed animals? No, he doesn't care. He likes hard things. He likes plastic. He likes bags. If I gave him a bag, that's all you would hear for the rest of the video is him crinkling plastic bag. That's his favorite thing to do. Okay, next comment. So I'm just getting distracted talking. Alright, next one. I don't understand why parents want to keep this veggie. I would not. Why ruin your life? Nothing will be in return. Or I would adopt or orphan than keep this veggie. So this person may be young or their English doesn't seem great, so maybe they're not a native English speaker, but the word veggie is not an ideal choice. But anyway, I understand. We didn't choose, I didn't choose to have him. I didn't choose to want to keep this veggie, they said. He's my son, so I never considered not keeping him. I don't really understand that way of thinking. I can understand people wanting to abort, if they're given a lot of notice and they're, it's like early, first term and stuff. I can understand the thinking like, well, maybe this isn't the best choice because the chance, like the probability is pretty high that they're going to live a very short, painful life. So yeah, I just kind of thinking morally or ethically, is it actually a good idea to bring them to term if you have the option early on? Then, yeah, maybe not. just statistically, but that doesn't mean they're going to live a horrific life. And Lili doesn't. He lives a great life. Like, according to him, it's wonderful. It's cozy, comfy. Look at him. How happy he is. He just gets tickles with Daddy. Gets to listen to Daddy's voice. You know, he's a happy little chappy, aren't you? And it's just obvious. So, like, yeah, we never considered not keeping him. It was just, what can we do to make his life better? What can we do to make him in less pain and, you know, more... We actually never even thought, like, what's easiest for us? Sorry. What's easiest for us? Like, we gave him a peg and a track. The track was so that he could come home and to fix his breathing problems. The peg was... He used to have a tube in his nose, an NG tube, and we have to change that often. That was horrible for him, mostly. For us, it was sort of work. But the actual decision to change it was for him, because we wanted him to be able to get more nutrition, and also it was painful for him constantly putting it in and taking it out. So we wanted to remove that as well from his life, and so that's what we did. So that was for him as well, and it was all for him. And he's got a cleft palate, which we could fix, but does he really care about that? Like, I think there'd be more risk of aspiration because then he'd be eating with his mouth, and then, you know, he might breathe it in, and it's just not worth it. And he's got missing skin on his head as well, which you can see here. So when he was born, that was all red and stuff. So he's got scar tissue here, and we could easily fix that, but, you know, we could give him cosmetic surgery. I don't know if he'll ever get hair there, but we could, you know, anyway, he could get some hair. He could get a toupee or something. And a toy, here goes the toy. But yeah, we just think, what's the best thing for him? What's gonna make his life more comfortable or happier or whatever, and we just do it. Yeah, anyway, getting off track. Alright, next one. This person says, this is why I support abortion. Yeah, I mean, I support it too. And yeah, I already talked about that, so let's not get back into that. This guy says, so cruel to bring a child into this world to suffer. What is wrong with people? So yeah, people just often assume, like, intentionality. Like, they assume that we planned this, or that we had the choice to abort and didn't, or that we had the genetic testing and then ignored it, or intentionally didn't get genetic. I don't know what it is, or we're like some religious fanatics and we're just like, you know, life above all else, no matter what, we must help them live forever. I'm just not, like, it's just not me. So they're like, they're just assuming so much about us as people that just isn't, just BS. Yeah, is right. Okay, I'm gonna skip that one. So there's another one. So you decided to let your child suffer for your emotional need. Got it. So yeah, no, I didn't do that. If he suffered, I mean, honestly, when he goes through periods, and he does go through some periods of kind of suffering a lot, like he's got this pee issue that causes him a lot of pain fairly often. Like, it kind of flares up. It flares up every now and then, and I do go through periods where I feel really guilty, and I'm like, God, is this life okay? Like, you know, if he's in pain the majority of the time, but then he goes out of those periods, and they don't last that long. It's like a week or two. Like, he'll be in a bit more pain than usual, but then he'll go through, you know, a year or 6 months or 2 years of basically nothing, and, you know, it's wonderful. So then all of those doubts go away. But yeah, anyway, he doesn't suffer most of the time. He's not suffering at all. Okay, this is an interesting one. So the siblings of disabled children have a difficult life too. Please consider to have another sibling so they can interact with each other while parents are busy meeting the needs of the disabled child. So we have a child. We have another child. We have a daughter, 5-year-old, and we can't have another child, so it's just not possible. So we just have two. We've got a trisomy child and then Lily, our daughter. But to be honest, like, people assume that disabled children require an exorbitant amount of work and and blah blah blah. But and it's true. Like, I think he restricts our life and our movement and our the kinds of jobs and stuff that we can have in ways that our daughter doesn't. But our daughter's the one that requires most of the work. Like, she's the one that takes us away from him, not the other way around. Like, it's rare that I won't be able to spend time with my daughter because of him. It's more true to say that he's the reason maybe I have to stay home, or I can't get particular jobs because I can't be away for too long and blah blah blah. So there's a restriction on our life that's caused by him, definitely, and his unique situation. But like, if I told my wife that, oh my god, Lili requires so much work, like, Lily's so easy, she would be like, what universe are you living in? Like, it's the opposite every day of the week. Like, my daughter stayed home from school yesterday and I spent like 8 hours with her. I was exhausted. Then she went to bed and I spent 8 hours working on my computer and looking after Chum, Lili, and that's just a normal night. That's fine. I got a lot of work done. So most of the time he's just chilling in bed, and then we'll cuddle for a bit, and he'll need suction or he'll need changing or something. But most of the time he doesn't really need anything. These days he's wonderful. He's always wonderful. Okay, another one. This one, jeez, yeah. Okay. This is a ridiculous one. So, oh please, you could trim his hair and shape it close to his head. You're just allowing him to look unkempt. Keep him more comfortable in his dress and jammies. You are definitely keeping him alive for your own pleasure, in my opinion. Can't you take your time with him like you would take time with a normal child? If you really love him and want him in your life, then take time with making him presentable. I don't see any deformities. I only see a sweet boy with terribly messy and uneven hair. And from what I can see, very bad dental hygiene. Don't enjoy him for yourself, but for him. Yeah. So, yeah, he does. I mean, his hair is messy, but you want to try brushing this? Like, this is not brushable hair. Like, as I said, he has this deformity on the top of his head, which means that the hair just, like, sticks up. So, yeah, I could, like, glue it down. I could, what's it called? The wax or something. I could use gel to, like, gel it down or, like, shave it or something. But why? Like, I love his hair the way that it is. It's just unique and it's his style. I don't see it as unkempt. In the same way that I don't see, like, dreadlocks as being, like, unkempt or dirty, or it's just a style of hair. And his just happens to be, like, it looks like Ace Ventura, I think. Dental's a tough one. So he sees a dentist. He has a visiting dentist that comes, I think, once a week and, like, cleans his teeth and stuff. And yeah, he doesn't use his teeth, so he just chews on things. So that is a struggle. It's hard to brush his teeth because he just bites on the toothbrush. So honestly, brushing his teeth is an absolute nightmare. But yeah, we try. We're doing our best. But he sees a dentist regularly, and honestly, his teeth are better than my daughter's. Like, my daughter has more cavities and stuff than he does, and he's 7, and she's only 5. So I think, yeah. Anyway, this person, obviously, maybe they're an older lady or something, and they just have particular standards with, like, making yourself presentable. And okay, maybe he's not super presentable, but do you care? Do you care how presentable you are, my angel? You look good to me. Your beautiful little hair, and you're adorable. So, I don't know. I mean, we care about we care about making him happy and him being alive and comfortable, not looking unkempt. That's just not my priority at all. Jesus. Okay, so, and then this one. How do you know your little boy isn't in pain? He can't tell you. So I replied to this, and I was like, well, the same way that I know a baby's in pain. Or the same way that I know a puppy's in pain, you know, they're yelping, they're crying, they're, you know, it's very obvious. I'll put it on screen, you can see what he looks like when he's crying. It's so obvious and heart-wrenching. Whereas when he's happy, it's really, really obvious as well. So you just got to know him and know his little tells, you know. It's just obvious. It's obvious to us where his parents have been with him for 7 years. You want to get that? Yeah, you can pick it up. Okay, and then just a couple little ones. So did the parents not have genetic testing? No, we didn't. We weren't aware of the massive risks. Like, I mean, it's such a low percentage of having like a really bad genetic condition like this. That, yeah, but in hindsight, yeah, we should have, and we did with our daughter, who was born after him, and everything was clear. So, but to be honest, even if we did have genetic testing for him and it came back with trisomy 13, we wouldn't have aborted. We would have just hoped for the best, like we always did after he was born. We always just hoped for the best. So, yeah, it's just each to their own, I think. Yeah, that's it. Otherwise, I'm just repeating myself. Some of them are just kind of the same ones we already addressed. But anyway, I just wanted to do that. Hopefully the video's all okay and not too loud. And, you know, I kind of bumped the microphone a few times. Sorry about that. Okay, that was fun, wasn't it? You want to say goodbye to everyone? Let's say bye. Let's say bye. Say bye. Goodbye, all the people who are watching. Yeah, they all love you. They all think you're a cutie cute. Yeah, cutie cute now. Okay, so goodbye. So I called him Chum and Lila. We have both nicknames for him. So you guys, if you want to say in the comments, like, nice to see you, Chummy Chum. You'd love that. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. And if you want more trisomy content, or I might do some anxiety content too, because I've had really bad anxiety. Which is so surprising because I got such a little cutie here. But yeah, anyway, if you want more content like this, let me know down in the comments. Any other suggestions you have, let me know. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. See ya. Gonna go back to bed? Let's go back to bed? Yeah, let's go back to bed.